Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video we will be talking about Chase Young and why he likely will not be playing this week for the Washington Commanders, and we'll talk about when he could possibly return. Also, we'll talk about the Commanders signing Danny Johnson to the active roster and Sam Ehlinger playing this or starting for the Colts this week. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Trying to get to 10K by the end of the year, so please help me get there. Hit that like button and turn on the notification bells so you never miss a video. Okay, so we will start off with the Chase Young news, and this is from JP Finley. Chase Young news: Ron Rivera tells me more than likely Commanders will start the 21-day return from IR clock Wednesday a.m., but very slim chance Chase Young plays versus the Colts. Rivera wants to focus on Young's football conditioning first. So what basically this means is, Rivera, likely tomorrow they will activate him from the IR clock, and he has 21 days to return from that point, and he can start practicing with the team. And I think, honestly, you don't need to rush him back. So, and I talked about this last week that, he could play versus the Colts, but they could activate him and have him, or, start his 21-day clock and have him go through a full week of practice, and then or actually 2 full weeks of practice before he plays. And that's what they're going to do. And I think that's honestly smart. You don't want him to just go through like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is 3 days of practice, and then play a game. He'll go through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, let his body recover, maybe do some pregame workouts for the Colts game, and then he'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday again, and then likely play the next week. So I like that approach by the Commanders. Let him practice, let him get that football conditioning, and then his, hopefully there won't be any, re-injury when he comes back. And also, he might be a little bit further along if he just instead went right to it and only practiced 3 times. Because again, it's going to be, even, with him practicing for 2 full weeks, at least before he plays, it's still going to be an adjustment for him when he comes back. It's going to feel a little bit weird playing for the first time. It usually is an adjustment for guys coming off that ACL injury, and his was a little bit more complicated too. And then Rivera also says, we want to be fair to the kid. We want to make sure that conditioning is right and that he can do all the football things he's going to need to do, because the last thing you want to do is to get him out there too early. And like most people when the news came out, I was a little bit disappointed because I was excited to possibly see him this week. There was actually a chance for the first time in a while. But, it's not going to happen. Could happen the week after that. I would say probably like a 65% chance that he plays, not this week, but next week if all goes well. And, the defense, the D-line has been pretty good. Last week against the Packers, did they get a lot of pressure? No, but that's partly because Rodgers was was throwing it very early, quick releases, screens, stuff like that. But they were good against the run, and they were good against Justin Fields, pressuring him. They've been good this year, and the defense as a whole has gotten better. I mean, you look at it; they allowed 7 points to the Bears, and yes, the Bears didn't miss a lot of opportunities, but the Bears scored like 33 points yesterday against the Patriots in like barely, they had 33 points with like 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they just took their foot off the gas. So I think this defense is good, and it could get to, really good by the end of the year if Chase Young comes back and, Jamin Davis starts to improve even more, and, the secondary gels even more. I think this defense will start, keep improving. So I'm excited to see what this defense looks like maybe in a few weeks, once Chase Young gets used to coming back from his ACL. And yeah, I'm really excited to see Chase Young back. And like a lot of people are saying, no need to really rush him back and get that risk of re-injuring himself, or if he's not ready, that criticism that he's going to get, when he doesn't get any sacks. So I think this is the right move by them, and we'll see if he plays next week. And shout out JP Finley, because he was on top of this for really all summer, or at least sometime before the season started, maybe a month or 2 before the season started. He said, I'm getting Halloween vibes in terms of when Chase Young comes back. So he was very close to his prediction when most people were saying really, really early. Like I thought right after, let's say in March, April, that he was going to be back for week 1, and I was way off. Didn't know the severity of the injury. Didn't know that, he had a different type of surgery and everything with the patellar tendon, but JP Finley was on this the whole time, and shout out to him. And then John Keim also said, was told if all went well with Dr. Young's or with the doctor that Young would practice this week. Sunday, Rivera called early reports positive. This is the next step. As JP said, this week wouldn't make sense. Doctors initially told the team likely miss 8 games. Some optimism at times, maybe earlier, but better to be safe. And definitely agree with that sentiment that John Keim has, and the other reporters. So hopefully he is back. Not this week, but I mean, of course it would be great if he's back this week. But if he's back against the Eagles Monday night, that's an extra day as well. That would be a great time for him to be back against the. Maybe they're still undefeated, and we can get that. We can get their first loss. So now, other news: Washington signed cornerback Danny Johnson off the practice squad. Nothing really major there. They just, I think Tariq Castro-Fields is on IR if I'm not mistaken, and William Jackson III. That whole drama, he's hurt, or I really don't think he's hurt. He might be a little bit hurt, but I really think it's he doesn't want to play there, and they're trying to trade him. I think that's why he's not playing. I think if he, if that wasn't the case, I think he would play through whatever injury he has. I just think they're trying to trade him right now, and he's not going to play until something's resolved. Either he's off, they release him, or they trade him. I just don't think it's going to work here. It hasn't worked here. The defense looks so much better with him off the field that I think that it just makes sense for both parties. Move on, and even if that means releasing him. I know it's early, but in the contract, but you got to do what you got to do. And Danny Johnson just brings a familiar face to the team. He knows the system. He's played on this team before, and can play special teams for you as well, whether that's just normal special teams or as a returner if needed. So yeah, that's really it with Danny Johnson. And then the other news: the Colts are expected to start Sam Ehlinger at QB against the Commanders. So is that an advantage or is that a disadvantage? Because I really don't know, because Matt Ryan was not good. He was not good. He led the NFL in interceptions. He just wasn't looking good. A lot of Colts fans wanted him, bench for Sam. And I think Sam has a lot of the same qualities as Taylor Heinicke. He seems like he's a good leader. His teammates like him. He's a gamer. He loves playing football, and he can scramble a little bit as well. And I don't know, I see a lot of Taylor Heinicke in him, and just in the type of just the type of player and leader he is. So I don't know, I could see him really balling out, or I could see us really having a lot of pressure on him. They don't have a great offensive line actually this year, and we got to take advantage of that. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, and even Casey Tuill and James Smith-Williams, they got to make things hard for him in his first NFL game. And if he scrambles, we got to make sure we're disciplined and able to get him down early. That goes to the D linemen, but also the linebackers as well, Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb. So I really don't know how to feel about this. I really do not know how to feel about this. They clearly thought a change was needed, and so I think, who knows, maybe Sam's a little bit of an upgrade over what they've had the last few weeks, but that doesn't matter. It's the guy's first start in the NFL. We should not lose to him, and the Colts haven't been great. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars once, they beat them once, we beat them, and then they lost the Titans twice, and we honestly should have beat the Titans if Rivera would have had any brain cells in that game. So yeah, we'll see. I think this is a game we definitely should win. It's at Indy, but Terry McLaurin's first, he's from Indy, and it's his first game playing at Indy, so I'm expecting a big game for him. He's probably gonna have a lot of family there. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Just a few updates there, and tomorrow probably have some more injury updates, because that's the first day they practice of the week, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.